All right, you're going to want to hear this. A few weeks back, something absolutely massive happened. The biggest corporate merger in the history of, well, the planet. And the craziest part? Almost no one is talking about it.
It all starts with rockets. I mean, the world's most ambitious rocket company. And you combine that with one of the most powerful AI labs out there, and what you get is a merger that creates something, well, something we've never seen before. Yeah, a brand new private company valued at $1.25 trillion. And believe it or not, the real reason behind this monster deal might have something to do with a problem that's quietly jacking up your electricity bill as we speak.
Okay, so let's get into the details. What actually went down on February 2nd, 2026? Let's break down what is, without a doubt, the biggest private company deal in history.
So, here's how the deal was put together. It was a pure share swap. No cash actually changed hands, which is pretty wild. You have SpaceX sitting on a valuation of a cool $1 trillion, officially buying xAI, which was valued at $250 billion. So if you were an xAI shareholder, you basically traded in one of your shares for about 0.1433 shares of this new mega company.
Now, to give you some perspective on just how massive that is, sure, a public company like Apple is worth way more, but in the private world, this new company just became the most valuable private company on the planet. I mean, ever.
But look, this is way more than just a bunch of Wall Street moves. At the heart of this whole thing is a plan that is, well, it's genuinely out there. It all comes down to one big question. Why in the world would you want to move massive data centers into orbit?
Okay, so here's the core of the problem, right? AI is literally eating our power grid alive. Training these huge language models, it takes an insane amount of electricity. Not just to run the computers, but to keep them from melting. They take up massive chunks of land, and get this, in some places, people's home electricity bills are going through the roof because of a data center down the road. It's not sustainable.
And this is where Elon Musk's grand plan comes in. Here's a quote, and this is straight from the merger announcement. He says, "The only logical solution is to transport these resource-intensive efforts to a location with vast power and space." And just to be clear, he's not talking about moving to another country or a desert somewhere. He's talking about orbit.
The logic, when you lay it out, is actually pretty simple, even if it's wildly ambitious. So step one, AI is hitting a wall here on Earth. We just can't power it forever. Step two, space has what we don't, basically unlimited solar power and a perfect, totally free vacuum for cooling. And step three, well, that's where the rockets come in. You just use the most powerful rockets ever built to haul all that hardware up there.
This isn't just about smashing two companies together. What this really creates is a totally self-contained, vertically integrated tech empire. Let's take a look at what's actually under one roof now.
I mean, just think about how all these pieces fit together. It's kind of crazy. You've got SpaceX, right? That's your heavy lifting, your transportation. Then you've got Starlink, which is the global internet connection to link everything back to Earth. You have Grok, the actual AI brain, which is used by everybody, from regular people to the Pentagon. And then the fuel for the AI? That's X, with its 600 million users pumping out a constant stream of real-time data. It's rockets, satellites, AI, and data. A perfect, closed loop. They control the whole stack.
Okay, but it's not all sunshine and rocket launches. To really get what's going on, we have to be honest and look at the other side of this coin. And that's where we get to the uncomfortable truth. Because there are some really big risks and some pretty tough realities that this new mega company is facing, and we can't just ignore them.
Let this number sink in for a second. $1 billion. That's how much cash xAI was reportedly burning through every single month. That is just a staggering amount of money, and it really makes you wonder if the company could have survived on its own.
And that cash burn leads directly to some major headaches. First off, you've got analysts calling this the Solar City bailout of 2026. Basically, they're saying SpaceX is using its cash to rescue a struggling xAI. Then you've got key people leaving. The co-founders, Jimmy Ba and Tony Wu, have both resigned. And maybe the biggest problem of all? Grok. Their main AI product is under investigation all over the world, the US, the EU, Asia, for some really serious problems with its tools. That's a massive legal and PR nightmare right at the core of this new company.
So, you add all of that up, the incredible ambition, the massive risks, the financial questions, and what you're left with is a $1.25 trillion bet. This whole thing is an attempt to completely reframe the future of technology, not just here on Earth, but in orbit too.
Look, here's probably the easiest way to think about it. For the last 50 years or so, the internet was built on the ground, right? Servers, fiber optic cables, big data centers. The bet here is that for the next 50 years, the fundamental infrastructure for AI won't be built on land, it'll be built in orbit.
And that really leaves us with one final massive question. If this bet is right, then the future of technology, of energy, of information itself, it's all about to change in a way we can barely imagine. But if it's wrong, well, this could go down as the single biggest, most spectacular corporate failure in the history of the world. So the real question is, which one is it going to be?